my style changes with my maturity. I don't think that this where I'm sitting at the moment is going to be the final style that I have in mind. If people want to recognize it, sure. If they don't want to recognize it, that's okay too. But I know that it's not for them, it's for me. As a group, we wanted to grow as a group. We're always like, I think the mentality that we've always had is grow together, glow together.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the KDigitals podcast. Joining me today is Anjo. Hey Anjo, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you, Chris?
Doing well, just staying busy. For sure. How's so what time is it? You're in Australia?
Yeah, I am. It's actually 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're awake. Well, you're just waking up. Oh, did you
No,
have coffee at least?
I'm an early riser. So
Okay.
when I get up in the morning, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'm all prepared today, so it's all good.
That is a skill I don't have, and I wish I had. Sometimes I have it, but like recently I've just been like, I can sleep in. Like, you know, it's just one of those days or weeks. But anyway, cool. Well, hey, Anjo, before I start the podcast, I was telling you, like, a big part of the KDigitals podcast is to really dive into artists, their process, their origin, their style. That said, when I came across you, I was like, okay, you're a singer, but then you also vlog and you also edit and direct your own videos. So how did you define yourself as an artist? Are you an artist? How do you approach that?
I think to define myself as an artist, I would say mostly I'm a singer and a songwriter. Mm-hmm. I dabble in production and I dabble in, in video editing and things like that. I have aspirations to become a creative director, run my own company one day, do all that type of stuff. But mm-hmm. I think that comes in second to being a songwriter and a singer, because I've always had that since I was little. And, I don't think I've ever really given that up in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. It's the same, like, that's when I talked to, right? Like, I had music in me, but then, like, the camera stuff is when I just stayed. Yeah. And that became, for sure.
And it just draws you. It, like, you can't seem to get away from it. It always, like, finds its way to come back.
Yeah, and sometimes you're like, don't come back, because if you come back, I'm going to have to do all this stuff. Yeah. I can't run away from that if you can come back. Yeah, for sure. So, in terms of, like, so you said singer, songwriter. So like if some of your songs, right, you have like Imagine and then you have, the Damn freestyle, which sound two completely different sounds, right?
Yeah.
So what is your sound or your style? Where is that part of it?
I think if you listen to my first single and like my most recent single, you can tell that there's a lot of maturity that's come from like just
that's cool.
Up. I mean, when I first wrote Imagine, I think I was 17 or 18, and now I'm 20, turning 21 soon, like later in this year. And I think you can just tell how my style has developed and how I've sort of grown into my own. Mm-hmm. I think with myself personally, I've always known that the end goal was to sort of have something like Damn. Like that was always that sound, the way that it's sort of structured, and also incorporating like my poetry and like spoken word and things like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's really what I wanted my end goal to be, but when I was 17 or 18, I didn't really know how to get across that, and also how to produce my own work. So I was like, literally when I was making Imagine, I was sitting on the floor in this room when it was like my little studio. Okay. And I was sitting in this room, and I had my phone on the floor, and I was just playing an acoustic guitar, and then I just recorded it that way. Mm-hmm. And then I brought it into GarageBand, and then I started playing with the EQ, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on Spotify, because everyone asked me to. So I was like, you know what? But yeah, it's definitely the process of me getting from one to another has definitely grown with maturity. And also with confidence as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's deep, dude. That's cool. That was a very cool response, right? Just oh yeah, you could see the maturity and how I've grown. Like, okay, like that's, I can relate to that. That's cool. So then where do you take it from here, right? Like, are you trying to be like a full-time musician, live off this, or is this more hobby? Like what, you've had this journey, so where's the journey going?
I think I've always known that I wanted to be a singer. I mean, I've been singing and I've been writing songs since I was 3. I think if you ever, if you ever came over to my house and you're talking to my mom and you were like, how long has Anjo been singing for? She'd be like, oh, you know, Anjo used to put on these little performances with her, like by herself or with her cousins. And I've always known that I wanted to do this. I think it's just a point of knowing, in this industry, a lot of what you have to do is based on the belief that you have in yourself. And I want to get to the point where I can be a full-time musician, where I can live off this type of like this lifestyle and like doing what I love. But I think it's just more about, as I keep growing as an artist, I think it's growing the belief in myself that's going to get me there. And I think knowing that my style changes with my maturity, I don't think that this, where I'm sitting at the moment, is going to be the final style that I have in mind, because I do have other ideas for it. Sorry. But I know that this is what I want as the end goal. And it's just a point and a process of working and giving my all to it, which I haven't done yet. Because, you know, still young, still got to get all my studies out of the way, still got to go through all that process of doing that. But yeah, like I do want this to be where I end up. And like, because it is what I love to do, I feel so at home making music and performing and being on a stage. So yeah, I'm not sure what the future holds for me, but I know where my head is at, and I know where I'm trying to push myself.
Yeah, like the map isn't drawn out yet, but you know you're going to end up in there eventually. It's just a matter of, that's cool. That's dope. Yeah, I just got to that point in my life where I'm like, okay, I feel confident enough. I'm grown as an artist. I can actually take this seriously. But it's like, if I feel like if I had tried to do this back then, I don't think I would have been mature enough and like organized enough to actually make it a thing, right?
For me, I think when I really, really, really like, I was desperate to make a name for myself as a musician. It was when I was first starting out. So I don't think I don't like, it was when I was 17, 18, and I was like thinking to myself, I put out this single, why isn't it getting, you know, I mean, as vain as it sounds, why isn't it getting recognition or things like that? But then I realized it's because you're not there yet, and like you're not ready for what is to come with the recognition. Like, I think at the time when I was really looking to be a musician, when I was really desperate to be an artist, it was when I was at my lowest, because I was trying to find something to grab onto, trying to find something to, you know, really push me and take me out of where I didn't want to be. But now I've realized that most of the growth and most of what the blessings that I've been given now have come from really just working hard and just, you know, letting things come to me and believing that if I trust the process, and if I, you know, just keep making music, and if I just keep making these connections with people, like genuine connections with people, then I'm able to grow that way, rather than, you know, just waiting for something to come about because I want it that bad. But it's definitely about, for me now, it's definitely more about just making something. And then if people want to recognize it, sure. If they don't want to recognize it, that's okay too. But I know that it's not for them, it's for me. And, you know, that's what I want to make clear to myself. And I think that's how I'm going to get to the next step, if I just keep believing in myself.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah. Real quick. I think my audio is messing up on my end. Do I sound like I'm like underwater or like very far away?
I think you sound the same as before, so it's all good.
Okay. Can you let me know? How about now? Does it sound different?
It's less like muffly. It wasn't as muffled before. It's like more clear now.
It's better now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I realized I didn't, when we were trying to figure out the audio issues earlier on, I didn't actually set up the mic. So I was talking to my mic. It's fine, right? But it was more like the nitpicky artist me is like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like, wait, it sounds different.
Yeah, I can like hear it. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Just to bring it back in, right? Like that's really cool that you really are approaching it that way. And like, in some way, it's almost like you are believing yourself already, because you're already like in your head decided this is what it's going to be? I already know it's going to be something. So that, when you think of it that way. So then how did you, to kind of like hard left a bit then, because you said you're focused on studies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did you come across, Jimmy, Pablo, who introduced us, and the whole Eastbound crew? And like, how did that come about? If you're an Australian there in the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's a really cool story actually. So we all stream, so my brother introduced me to this streaming app called Kumu. And it's a Filipino-based streaming app, and there's a lot of American Filipinos that hang out on there. Mm-hmm. And I think me and Jimmy met through my brother. So we all used to hang out as we're all friends on there. And then people started asking me to do guestings for their shows. So they're like, can you come up in one of the little boxes and then just do like 2 or 3 songs as a set? And then because we all got so close and we all started hanging out together, like almost every day, we were on the streams every day, or we were in our group chats every day, like talking to each other. We really got to talking about like artistic process, and we really got to start making stuff for each other, because as a group, we wanted to grow as a group. We're always like, I think the mentality that we've always had is grow together, glow together. That's one of the things I've always tried to push. And I think Jimmy saw something in me that was like, oh, you know what? We're going to bring her in to Eastbound. And I like really, being that I want to go in the direction that I want to go in. He produces content. They make the type of music that I like to listen to. There's just a dope group of people. So he brought me in. He was like, you know what? We want to push your music. We want to help you. We want to help you grow as an artist, and we want to like be able to, just give you a platform, because like Jimmy was talking about in his episode, he was like talking about getting his recognition. That's how he started Eastbound. He wanted to create opportunities for himself, and I think he wanted to pass the ball a little bit. He was like, you know what? Let's open it up. Let's give her a chance to, show what she can do, because I think they saw some potential in me. And I thought that was really cool when they asked me. I was so excited when he asked me to come on board. Yeah, I was like, oh God, no way.
Yeah. That's cool, dude. So how long have you guys been like connected then? It seems like you've been talking for a while.
Well, I mean, Jimmy and I think we met in November last year. So it hasn't been very long. It's only been for a couple of months, but like you can see, I think we spent all that time together, all of us, like all of our friends, we spent all that time together that we like really built genuine friendships with each other. And like it feels like, Jimmy's like my brother, and like, we're good friends, and we can give each other the support and the feedback, and the criticism and the positives and the everything that you'd want as an artist when you need direction. And especially going into it as an independent, you need that, because sometimes you don't know, like you're in your head about things, and you need an outside opinion.
Yeah, no, I feel it, and I think that's what helps. Like you mentioned, like the grow together, glow together. Like I think the not secret formula, but the thing I always keep thinking about is like, okay, as an artist, it's like being in a band, right? If you're in a band, you guys all support each other. But if you're like an ASAP mob, and you just have all these different individuals that are together, you have a band with your own identity. But if you guys all grow, right?
Yeah, everyone comes up.
Yeah, and then eventually people scatter. That's like an ASAP story. That's how that's all happening. But anyways, right? So that's cool. So obviously they're going to be there. They're going to be helping create content and do a lot of stuff. So then are you still going to like direct and edit your own videos, or is it something?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to the way that things come out. So I don't think I could really, unless I really am like stumped for ideas or something like that, I don't ever think I could really pass the torch in that sense. I've always been like, the way when I see things, I want it to look a certain way, or I want it to sound a certain way, or I want it to convey this particular type of message. A lot of what I do is about what messages can I put in the film, or in the video, or in the photo, or in the song. What messages can I convey that mean something else, and that means something deeper? So I don't think I could really, I mean, I can take as much creative aspects and creative vision from other people, that give me their, like, that want to help me with the idea. But I think in that sense, I think I would always make and direct my own things, just because. But unless I don't know how to do something visually, like with a camera, I think that's when I would ask other people to come in and help me with that. But in terms of the way that I want something,
part.
Yeah, exactly. Like the outcome, I would always want full control over that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I can relate to that. And it's hard, right? Because like if I hit more people involved, this might make everything easier, but then I lose control. What do I do?
Yeah,
right.
And you know, when there's a lot of people and there's a lot of ideas, I'm a very anxious person. So when I hear a lot of things coming at me, I'm like, oh, like I get lost, and then I'll like space out, and then all of a sudden I'm not listening, and I want to give people my attention. Yeah. And I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to take all this feedback that I'm getting and like cater to everything and still make it my own.
Yeah, and it's hard because sometimes when people are giving you feedback, they're not just, hey, FY, they're like, no, this is how you should do it. And you're like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I think I should do it this way, but I don't want to upset you by not listening to your feedback. Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of hard left. Like you mentioned, like you like the Eastbound crew because you like the music they create. But in general, like what are your musical inspirations, right? Like who do you like listening to when you're trying to like?
That's so hard because like I think it depends. Like every month it'll change. But the ones that have always stuck with me are Nikki. She's from 88 Rising. Nikki Zafanya. She sings very similar types of music that I do. Also Mac Ayres, Mac Miller. I love Ariana and the things that she like. I love her vocally and like that bad girl energy that she really emulates. And I think other people that really inspire me would be Jasmine Sullivan, Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like that type of style as well, for sure.
So is it like not, I don't say like moody vocals, but like really like deep vocals in? So you're like that kind of like very like there's some motion behind every word kind of vibe. Okay. When you said Lauryn Hill, I'm like, okay, connect it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. That's cool. So then what's generally like your like on your Spotify, like you're on your like heavy rotation? Like is it them all the time? Are you like always absorbing new music? Like how do you?
I think now, like before, my heavy rotation would have been like Mac Ayres, Nikki, Daniel Caesar.
Yeah. Daniel Caesar.
Like,
he's
cool. More recently,
yeah.
Givian. Who else do I listen to? That like it would have been like that type of style of artist. But now that I'm sort of branching out into like I've been spending a lot of time with people that like to listen to a lot of different types of music. And it's more like R&B, hip hop, but it's more the soulful and jazz type of style. And I think I'm sort of leaning more into that like that realm of listening to things. I think one of the songs that I really, really like at the moment, or one of the artists that I really like at the moment, I think her name is Pip Millette or something like that, and she sings the song Make Me Cry. And I don't know, I heard it one time and I was like, wow, this is such a vibe. And this is like, I think in that sense, that's the type of vibe that I'm moving more towards as well. Because everyone's told me, because my voice is a lot lower than a lot of girls, like their voices, like, because I'm an alto. So they're like to me, your voice is built for like jazz singing. And I've always really liked, you know, the styles that Anderson .Paak plays in, like that funky type of, like, he's like, that. So that type of style mixed with that type of vocal, I think that's really where that like my end goal for what I want to sound like is. So yeah, I think for the type of songs that I've been listening to at the moment. Yeah,
that's cool, dude. And it's like cool to see your journey because it's like, even like that sound is a very like mature sound. Like it feels like it's something you have to like work towards and appreciate. Like it's exercise. And that's cool that like that's where the maturity is heading. Like I want to go there. You know? Yeah, for sure. So I know I'm nearing time. Can I ask you one last question?
Sure.
Okay. On this note of maturity, right? Clearly you've grown a lot as an artist and you still feel there's gonna be a lot more of that to go, right? But if you're gonna go back to like 17-year-old, imagine in kind of Anjo days, what's some advice you would give them that you wish you knew then, right? That would probably make everything easier for you, or better, or even like calmer.
I think one of the things I would tell myself it's not about everyone else. It's about making what you love and singing about the things that you want to sing. It's not about reputation. It's not about recognition. It's purely about doing what you want because you love it. It's not about money. It's not about making $1 million out of this one song, not being a one-hit wonder. It's about creating the things that you can't say with words and putting them in a song. And it's about emotion. It's about the passion that you have for your music. And yeah, I think that's what I was really missing when I was younger. Yeah, I didn't really know that. I was more about, make music, make money. I mean, as much as I love music and I love doing it, it was always about that. It was always about, how am I going to become the next big thing? How am I going to become an artist? How am I going to, But for me now, I realize and I recognize that it's about the passion that you have for it. If you have passion and if you have the drive, that'll take you everywhere. And people will see that in you, not because you want them to, but because they just see it. And that's just what that is.
Really good interview. I appreciate all your energy, dude. That's cool.
Thank
that was
you.
a cool way to end it off. Cool, Anjo. Where can people follow you? Where can they listen to your music? Where can they discover you?
Yeah, they can check me out on Instagram. It's at Angeline Barrian. Also, if you guys want to check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, it's ANJO, Anjo. Yeah.
For sure. Thanks so much, Anjo. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I appreciate everything you shared today, and I'm looking forward to posting this interview. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.